Hello, it's SGD, Sacred Geometry Decoded, and I'm going to put a link to this video. This was the previous upload, and because this is an important feature because we can start to link multiple ancient sets of measure at very important ratios, bringing together the meter, the English foot as it's called, the Royal Egyptian cubit, as well as the Salamis stone or the canonical cubit, multiple measures coming together. So for instance, here in the video I have three pendulum set. This pendulum is 0.994387 meters long. This is the definition of 1 second at 45 degrees north of the equator. This is an important. Now, this pendulum here is exactly 1 meter long, and it too provides a very, very accurate second. Now, depending on your position, so imagine that you see a little globe there, your position north or south of the equator, the length of the pendulum changes. Here I have a pendulum which is 1.00584 millimeters, which is 3.3 English imperial feet, which turns out to be 1 Saxon yard or 3 Mohenjo-daro cubits, which is again provides a very, very accurate 1 second pendulum. So the concept of the meter, the second, and the pendulum is a very important one. So let's start with the video. Okay, so in previous episodes I touched on these important numbers. So we have 1 meter and the double vesica Pisces, or we've just bisected it into half and then bisected that line again. So we've cut it into 4 equal quarters. Along with other numbers I showed earlier, but this 273.03325 on the Ionic scale, as in the Salamis stone, as in the Doric, Ionic, and Corinthian column on mason boards, and how this 1 meter second pendulum gets together. And we'll also be linking the canonical cubit, which is 6/5 cubed, or 1.2 cubed. That happens to be 20.736 inches, which is very lovely. But okay, so now we have a 1 meter pendulum. Now so here we see the 1 meter pendulum in action. 1 second. Pause that. Now, which brings us back here. So 1 meter pendulum, it needs to be at 30 degrees. This has been established by Giovanni Riccioli and others, but it needs to be a shallow angle. So again, 30 degrees is the maximum to swing a pendulum such as this. Now 30 degrees, or 1800 minutes of the compass, or 108,000 seconds of the compass, also equals pi/6 radian. In 360 degrees to divide the circle, 1 radian is 2 pi to divide the circle, and therefore, because it's 30 degrees at this length of arc from there to there, has to be pi/6 meters, which equals 1 Egyptian royal cubit, which equals 1 second, as in 86,400 seconds per day. So just as again, these will be static images, but here we see examples of the 1 second pendulum in action. Even as the pendulum gets down to its last moments of movement, it's still going to retain a 1 second timing. This is an important feature of the pendulum. This is why pendulum was so important to timekeeping. Only the ultra-modern methods would compete, but this has been so up until the quartz crystal, this was the most scientific method of establishing 1 second. And so, for instance, the Marin-Mersenne pendulum predates the official meter by some time, but there's a lot of misunderstanding in regards to the history of the meter. Most people would say it begins with the French dividing the circumference of the Earth. Well, that's one point in it, but it's actually centuries before in recorded documents that the 1 second connection goes back to. But anyway, so back to the images. Okay, so a 1 meter pendulum equals 1 second. Now it does equal precisely 1 second depending on your location. Now any point on the Earth, 1 meter 1 second pendulum is very, very accurate. At one position on the Earth, north or south of the equator, it is precisely accurate. But this brings us to the meter, the cubit, the second, and 86,400 seconds per day, or 1,440 minutes per day. but this will all link in nicely. Okay, so just to zoom in, so 30 degrees equals pi over 6 radian to measure of a circle, and that just happens to be pi over 6 meters, which is just happens to be one Egyptian raw cubit, therefore 1 second connecting. So this length of arc, this curved section, 1/12 of a circle with a 1 meter radius, multiply that by 440, you get the base length of the Great Pyramid. I covered this in an earlier series, but looking at the cubit, the pyramid on each side varies ever so slightly. 20 centimeters between the shorter side on the north face and the longer side on the south face. But if we take an average of the perimeter, the Egyptian raw cubits based on the Great Pyramid, we also have fine cubit rods, but just as an example, if we measure the perimeter of the pyramid, I'm using a J.H. Cole survey, divide it by 1760 or 440 by 440 times 4, 1760. We get an Egyptian raw, and we have cubit rods and all sorts of records. So the cubit is just a fact. But what we have is that the average cubit of a Great Pyramid is 0.523555 meters. Another way to draw the seed of life, or a hexagon with a 1 meter diameter. Each section of arc is pi over 6 meters. So that difference is 44 microns, 0.044 millimeters. That's the difference. This is well above 99.9%. So this 1 second 1 meter pendulum times 440, we get the base of the Great Pyramid. Now here's another feature of the Great Pyramid. If you stand at any one of the north east corner, the one which just happens, so if I was standing here looking directly through the northeast corner, Heliopolis would be directly behind me. But including the sockets, which adds about 4 feet to either side, so the pyramid would be 760 feet roughly either side. That is 463.81289 meters. The rotational speed of the Earth per second, meter second cubit, is 463.8328 within this margin of error. So what we have, stand at the pyramid, include the sockets, you get the speed of the Earth, rotational speed per second. Alright, so 864,000 per day. Therefore, you multiply the maximum visible base of a pyramid, including the sockets, by the number of seconds per day, you get the equatorial circumference of the Earth. However, you need to include the sockets. So now we need to look at comparisons between, I could extend a little bit, but we have Egypt, Sumer, and Indus, these 3 civilizations that just sort of popped up around 3000 BC. But with the Indus and Egypt, we have very solid measures. Also with Sumer, but it gets very confusing in a sense. So I'm going to be using the Indus or Mohenjo-Daro / Harappa and the Egyptian raw cubit. So what they found was, they call it the Mohenjo-Daro foot or the Indus foot, is 13.2 inches or 1.1 feet. So therefore, Saxon foot was used up until the modern English foot, or the Carolingian, or the Northern foot. It's got different names. Also, evidence for the Sumerian foot to be 1.1 English feet. So 3 of those together, 3 feet equals a yard. 39.6 inches equals 1.00584 meters. How does this all connect together? Well, again, we'll look at this pendulum. So for instance, here I have a pendulum of 1.00584 meters. This is exactly 1 Saxon yard, or 3 Saxon feet, or 3 Mohenjo-Daro units of measure. It could also include Sumerian. Now this also will give a very accurate 1 second pendulum. Okay, so the Indus foot, I'll put some links in the description. You can even just look up Mohenjo-Daro or the Indus foot, or the Indus ruler measure systems, 1.1 imperial feet. Plenty of evidence, not just in the architecture of the cities, but even evidence, fragments of the measuring rods have been found. And this was also the Saxon, aka Northern foot, of 1.1 English feet, 13.2 inches. So the old Saxon mile was 4,800 Saxon feet. 1 English mile equals 5,280 feet. 4,800 times 1.1 equals 5,280 feet. So what happened was with the mile, it never actually changed. The foot defining the mile changed, but the length of the mile stayed the same. 4,800 Saxon feet, 1 mile, times 1.1, 52,800. So now we have this important yardstick of 1 Saxon yard, or 3 Indus feet, or 3 Sumerian feet of 3.3 feet, or 39.6 inches. And how does this link to Egypt? Well, here's a chart from Abraham Rees' encyclopedia, but what we see is measuring the pendulum and even weights, how they vary from your position north or south of the equator. This is the Marin-Mersenne, 1640, defined 1 second, effectively defined 1 meter as 0.994 meters in the modern scale, and 1 second. Talleyrand proposed this in 1790 to be the official French meter, and George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were considering to use this 1 second at 45 degrees north of the equator to be the official definition of the US yard. 3 of these would be 3 US feet a yard. This almost came to pass, so this is a very important feature. Now, we go back. Egyptian royal cubit, pi over 6 meters, and that's from elbow to the tip of a finger, so from elbow to your wrist. If you look at Vitruvian Man, you'll see that the foot actually corresponds to the forearm, so the wrist to the elbow. Okay, so Egyptian royal cubit, pi over 6 meters, but from the wrist to the elbow is 0.299199 meters. An English foot is 0.3048 meters. Now, what's relevant about that? What we have is a difference of 5.6 mil. So now we come back to the Talleyrand-Mersenne, or the George Washington / Jefferson 1 second, 1 meter. Well, that was 0.9948 blah 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 meters, which is 1 official meter minus 5.6 millimeters. The difference between the foot and the cubit, 5.6 mil, is the difference between the 1 second pendulum at 45 degrees north and the official definition of the meter as it is now. 5.6 mil plus 1 meter. There we have the Mersenne pendulum and the official modern 1 meter, difference of 5.6 millimeters to measure a second. Okay, so there's like a screenshot of that. So we have 3 pendulums of Marin-Mersenne, 1 second pendulum 45 degrees north, exactly 1 meter by modern definition, which creates 1 Egyptian royal cubit, which is effectively E minus 1 feet. That's also a very accurate 1 second pendulum. And also we have the 3.3 English feet, or 1 Saxon yard, or 3 Mohenjo-Daro units, also creating a very accurate pendulum. And you'll notice a straight line here is essentially equal. It's within 1/10,000th of a mil, something like that, from this arc. And this arc is effectively 1 canonical cubit. So there's a Marin-Mersenne, George Washington, Talleyrand meter of 0.994 cubit. And okay, I'm going to leave that for that one because we're going into other stuff, but I'll leave a link to this video in the description, because what we have is a system between ancient sets, ancient civilizations, apparently unconnected, through their surviving measuring tools, the importance of the numbers which define these measuring instruments, and how they connect through the architecture Measuring length is measuring time. This is all very hermetic, as in Hermes, God, and weights and measures. Fof, chesed. Cheers.